I once gave a lift to the Guildford Four.
Well, Joe is sporting a very sort of open prison look tonight.
I once shared a tent in Kent with Susie Dent.
Please, team.
Where did you first get to know Susie?
On Countdown.
Which is true. She's on Countdown.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of TV shows around, aren't there, where people off the telly go and camp somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's not out of the question.
No, I know for a fact he's been very smiley and fily with Rachel Riley.
Well, was it just you and Susie?
In the tent, yeah.
Why did this come about?
Well, it was for a television... Well, for a pilot that never...
A TV show?
Yeah, that never made it.
What was the show called?
Tents in Kent.
Quick, is Canberra Sands in Kent?
No, it's in Sussex.
Oh.
Well, they got it wrong then.
What was going to be the interesting, appealing television that was going to come out of it? I was
going to get paid £7,000.
Yeah, but crucially, that's not enough to make someone tune into a TV programme, amazingly.
No, I wasn't really worried about that, but...
What was the show called?
We had to do this task. I remember we had 24 hours in it.
Yeah.
And we had to complete a task in 24 hours.
What was the task?
It was like a political campaign that we had to run in 24 hours. I was running for mayor of Whitstable.
Did you have to represent a party?
Yes.
What was the party?
God, a lot of questions, aren't there?
That will happen.
And it's quite draining, isn't it?
But also, can I just point out that Whitstable is North Kent and Canberra Sands is about 40 miles away in Sussex?
No, it's exactly 40 minutes in a car.
Going at 60 miles an hour.
The reason...
Hang on. I didn't stop. Just stop!
I will not stop!
A recap before we carry on. So you're doing a political campaign in 24 hours to become mayor of Whitstable, but you stayed in Canberra, which is a completely different county, and for no reason so far that you've explained, you stay in a tent. What's that got to do with running a campaign for mayor?
I guess they couldn't find a yurt near Whitstable. And I don't blame them for that. I don't know why I'm getting cross, sorry.
But what does it say about your campaigning skills that you ended up in a tent with Susie Dent?
Things went well.
Why did it never get made into TV?
Because they watched it back.
What do we think? Joe, what are you thinking?
Oh, I really want to believe it, but I just don't.
Oh, fair enough.
I could have believed you're in a tent with Susie in Kent, but I think the whole political campaign thing's just... It's a distraction.
OK.
All right. What's it going to be?
We're going to say it's a lie, are we?
It's a lie, it's a lie.
I think so,
We think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie. Joe, were you telling a lie or were you actually telling the truth?
It was a lie.
After seeing a regression therapist, I genuinely believe that in a past life, I used to be a medieval Frenchman.
David's team.
A regression therapist?
Yes.
So what's a regression therapist?
So it's a therapist who gives you regression.
I mean, thank you for putting those words in a different order.
More than welcome.
So why is it therapeutic to be told you were someone in the past?
Well, they don't tell you who you are. They get you to a place where you remember who you are.
Past life regression takes a while to get to. So how many...
Have you done it?
I have started to talk to my therapist about it, but it's not an easy journey. It's a very bumpy ride to get to where you're going. So how long did it...
That may just be your therapist saying, Michelle, this is going to take quite a few sessions. At $350 a time.
You're on the nose.
On the NHS, one session. Pull yourself together, thank you.
So go on then, Susie. What do they do?
You lie on the sofa. It's kind of like being hypnotised, where you get to a certain state and they start asking you questions of what you can see.
And what could you see?
So the first thing I saw was I landed in this field and they said, what's on your feet? And I said they were like these metal shoes, and they sort of pointed.
So armour.
Yes.
Essentially the booty bit of armour.
Yes.
I've never heard you sound so butch in my life.
So I realised I was in armour because of the way I was walking, and then I walked towards this big castle. It was it was ruined. The castle was ruined completely.
So you're walking forward, clank, clank, clank. You go in the castle.
More likely to be clank, clank, clank once you get to the castle, which would probably have had some sort of floor, whereas the field was more...
Yes.
You walk to the castle, clank, 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 clank. And then there's like the drawbridge, a more resonant...
Clogum, clogum, clogum.
Yeah. And so you get there, and why is the castle ruined?
There's been a war.
Nothing to do with us. Preempting what would be said next, so...
No, there's been a war, and there's also bears.
What?
There's bears.
From the Happy Mondays?
No, bears.
Bez from the Happy Mondays.
Oh, bears. No,
She said there was also Bez.
Say it again, Rob.
I said from the Happy Mondays. Thank you.
So you're in a castle.
Yes.
The castle's in ruins.
Yes.
And there's bears.
What,
Yes.
from the Happy Mondays?
And is the idea behind this that we were all one person before, or we've been lots of people?
We've been lots of people before.
So if you go for the next session, you might get one of the other people.
Absolutely
You might not, and then you sort of go, I want to find out what happened to the medieval Frenchman. No, you can't do that. You're the Greek soothsayer today.
Some parts, I think, of the Buddhist faith believe that you carry on until you've lived every life.
That's it.
Wow.
So
Every life. At some point, David, I'm going to be you. And I'm going to do it differently.
But can you do it differently? In this system where we all get a go being everyone, doesn't it all just, the ride goes the same, whatever? You sort of think, actually, no, I'm actually Lee Mack being David Mitchell, so I'm going to do it more northern. But it's too late. No, you've got to do David Mitchell. You can't. That could be happening now. You could be doing me, I could be doing you.
I'm not doing you now, David.
I think if you were doing yourself, you'd be being funnier than you are now with me doing you.
If I was doing myself now, I would be thrown off the show again.
What about you, David? Do you think you've lived other lives, David?
No, I don't think
Do you
I've
have
lived
any
other
time
lives.
for this poppycock?
My
Is that your nickname for him? Get a room, you two!
Michelle, I think you're going true.
100%.
Right.
I mean, Michelle is so convinced that it's true
Yeah.
that I would then go with Michelle.
It's not hard to believe you went to a therapist and lay down and closed your eyes and had a think. And that out of the thinking came some notion of clanking around, and that would make the story true, wouldn't it? I think we're going to say true.
Right. Chizzy, was it true, or were you telling a lie?
Oh, guys, come on. Yeah, it's true.
I recently had to pull out of a TV show because my teeth fell out.
David's team.
What was the TV show?
Sunday brunch.
And why had your teeth fallen out?
Because I bit on a Kit Kat chunky.
I may need you to take...
I'll take the reins.
Lead counsel on this.
OK, so, Bob, for many years, a Kit Kat chunky was my favourite chocolate because of the lack of suction. Now, you bite into a curly whirly, you ain't never getting those teeth back, all right? But
When you say the lack of suction, what in God's name do you mean?
what I'm saying here, if you bite into a curly whirly, it engulfs your tooth and it ain't letting go.
But it's not suction, is it?
It is suction because it creates a vacuum of ooze.
I am on Munya's side about the word suction in this instance.
Thank you. Oh, on his side?
Yeah, he's Munya, you're Rob, remember?
Why are you on his side?
Because it is a sort of suction. It sticks, and as it pulls, it creates a vacuum of ooze.
That's it.
Right. So what happened? What befell your teeth?
I keep my Kit Kat chunkies in the fridge, so it was very hard. So it's like biting into a rock, and I lost...
But not the freezer, though, just the fridge.
Do you know what? It's a fridge drawer.
Oh, one of those drawers that are refrigerated.
Yeah.
They're very fancy.
Oh, what a purchase, yeah.
What's the context under which you're eating this? Is it relaxed?
I wasn't thinking about anything in particular. Maybe the band ELO.
Which period of ELO's career would you have been dwelling on?
The early period before they met in Birmingham.
Before they met?
Yes, before
so
they met.
they weren't even a band?
No. What are you going to do with your life? I don't know, maybe make stock cubes. Maybe we should start a band.
But you said you were on Sunday brunch, or did I imagine that?
No, I had to cancel my...
Oh, you cancelled Sunday brunch?
I lost everyone.
What?
You bit into it with abandon.
Yeah.
You lost, what, 4 top teeth?
9.
No. 9?
Yes! All along the top. You take 1 bite from this...
bite.
And that's it. 9 teeth are toast.
No.
Yes.
It can't be. It can't be. The girth of a Kit Kat chunky is not 9 teeth.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have put it better. It's only going to take 4, 5 maximum.
If it was 3 teeth, would you believe it? In which case...
Too late to change your mind, Bob.
Yes, I would.
You believe it was 3?
Yes.
You want to think around that?
Why?
Because it might help you to decide whether it's true or false.
No.
David. The mind games.
OK, David, it's time to decide, truth or lie.
What do you think?
OK, I did think it was a truth, just because of everything that's happened.
Yeah,
but now I think the amount of teeth...
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Imagine it's a lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to bring you down to my hell, but why would he go for 9? Wouldn't he go for a more believable number if he was making it up?
That's true. He would have gone for 2.
So why would he say 9 unless it's true?
I can see through Bob, and I know this is a lie. It's up to you, but I'm telling the truth. It's a lie, David.
It's true.
Do you think it's true?
Yeah, but it doesn't say 9
You think
teeth
it's
on
lie?
the card, though. It just says teeth. It just says teeth. He could be trying to be like...
David,
scare
it's
off.
just a game.
It's true.
I think it's true.
No, David.
No, I don't. I think it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
We're going
It's a lie.
I don't know what I think.
All right,
but I'm saying it's a lie.
Bob, they think it's a lie. Was it a lie, or were you telling the truth?
I was telling the truth.
Yes, it's true. Now, Bob did have to pull out a Sunday brunch when his teeth fell out, and we've got a picture. Take a look at this.
As an adult, I once accidentally took part in an under-12s swimming gala.
David's teeth.
What happened? How did you end up in the swimming gala?
Well, I went swimming.
Right. At a public swimming baths on a normal day?
It was a council-run swimming baths, actually. And I went in and the pool was empty. But what I did notice was that there were people watching, you know, from the gallery at the top, but no one in the pool.
Right.
So I got in the pool. Do you want to know more?
At the moment, you're just alone in a swimming pool being watched.
And then a gun went off. Like a swimming gala gun. So the gun went off.
Yeah.
And then just at that minute, a group of under-12s jumped in and I was in the middle of a race.
Hang on. When you arrived in the pool area, right?
Yeah.
You notice the pool is empty.
Yeah.
You notice the gallery of spectators.
Gallery of spectators,
You didn't notice these lurking 12-year-olds.
They weren't there when I got in.
Do they normally fire the gun before anyone has entered the room or come near the pool?
Well, they must have been there, but I was distracted by the people in the gallery.
So you put a foot in the water, a gun goes off, some 12-year-olds jump in.
Yeah.
What happens then?
Then we'll swim.
You continued with your swim.
I'd paid my money.
And were the kids good swimmers? Were they overtaking you?
Well, when I reached, did a lap and reached the end, someone said that I had come third.
So what happened then, Lucy? Did you get a medal? I mean, how did it all resolve itself?
I think I could have pushed for a medal. But I didn't. Basically, I got out and I was annoyed. I was embarrassed.
So what do you think, Anton? What do you think?
I think it could be a lie. In actual fact, I think it is a lie.
What about you, Desiree?
I mean, I feel very deeply in my bones that it's a lie.
To be honest, I was feeling more credulous. It can be disorientating walking out from the changing rooms into a swimming pool.
It can be disorientating walking out of a changing room to a swimming pool.
I like the fact that you left that really mysterious, sort of... You aborted the anecdote. You went, I once...
Yeah, well,
yes.
To be honest...
Whoa! What did you do, David?
I'll tell you, but to be honest, I was worried I'd told the researchers for this show and it was going to crop up later in the series.
Oh, I see.
I got changed for swimming at a swimming bath and I didn't know the layout of the place very well and I just sort of walked out in my trunks and barefoot into some badminton courts.
Wow! 16 years, we're running out of stuff, and you just throw that away.
Yeah. OK, do you still think lie?
Yeah, but go with your gut.
Lie, we're going lie.
OK, they're saying it's a lie. Lucy, was it a lie or was it in fact true?
It was true.
Wow.
I once had to explain to the police why I had 2 coffins in the back of my van.
David's team.
Imagine I'm the police. Why have you got 2 coffins in the back of your van, sir?
Well, I was doing a touring play at the time, and there was vampires in it.
Yeah.
So we had 2 coffins in the back of the van as props. And we were actually in Germany doing this play called Neighbours with Long Teeth. And...
Things never translate from English to German.
Why did the police stop you?
Well, unbeknownst to us, the head of the Deutsche Bank had just been assassinated in Frankfurt.
Right.
And they were stopping everyone.
And so they were pulling over basically all vans?
They were looking for anything dodgy, basically, I guess.
Right.
Where were you? Which city?
It was just outside Frankfurt.
I live there.
Do you?
Yeah.
So they pulled you over.
Machine guns, everything. Very, very serious situation.
Yeah.
And we had to explain the plot of our play, Neighbours with Long Teeth.
Because you speak a bit of German. So
Yeah.
you were the... How many of you were there?
3 of us.
Oh, you should have said 9.
What sort of venues are you touring around?
Schools.
Schools. So...
The plot went that I was a sort of young 17-year-old schoolboy who'd fallen in love with my neighbour who was a vampire. And she came up out of the coffin and that's where we first met.
And what was the other coffin for?
The other coffin was for her parents, her mum or her dad. I think they shared, because they're a married couple, they're allowed to...
I mean, to be fair, Motsy is loving this show.
And how did you explain all this to the police?
It was a lot of mime.
But it's quite a complex plot, so how would you convey it to them?
I think they had more things on their mind than the full... They didn't get to Act 3.
So, yes, at what point in your description of the story did they glaze over?
Right, Bez, what do you think?
Well, I love the plot of Neighbours with Long Teeth, and it's got to be true with Stephen, I reckon.
You think true, Motsy?
You don't think any of this is true, do you? You don't think this is really happening?
This is happening.
But don't you remember when the president of the Deutsche Bank was assassinated in Frankfurt?
When did this happen?
It would have been its late 80s.
I just born. Like,
So you're not a suspect?
That wasn't a big part of your childhood. Kind of. Let us tell you the story of the president of the Deutsche Bank.
Well, what's it going to be?
well, I live around Frankfurt area. I mean, even if I wasn't there in the 80s, I think I would have heard the story.
How old were you when you went to Germany?
18.
You arrived in Frankfurt
Yes.
over 20 years after Steve's van was pulled over. I am not surprised they didn't mention it.
But this is a story. This is culture. You carry that on.
A school's tour of a play about vampires, and the police pull over their van once on what was quite a busy day for the police. I cannot share your confidence that they would have mentioned it to you, an 18-year-old dancer coming from South Africa. I don't think that will be on the things you need to know. Local restaurants, you know, this is how you pay the tax. The bins come on Tuesdays. Oh, and I must tell you, back in the late 80s, there was a guy here and he had a couple of coffins in his van. Turned out it was just a school's tour. If that's what you're basing it on, I'm going with Bez.
OK. So you're saying it's true?
Yes.
So, Steve, was it true or was it a lie?
True.
And they never mentioned it.